Hello.
Hi. One of my survival strategies has been to fly under the radar.
Is to what?
Fly under the radar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of be invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to leave without making myself visible.
Tell us who you are.
Well, one of the things that's been arising is that's not letting me go is this story about my first awakening.
Mm-hmm.
It happened when I was 24, and it was 1976, and it was during the S training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I walked into the first weekend of the training, and I was identified as a victim. And when I walked out at the end of the second weekend, I had that identity had disappeared. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know what I was. Mm-hmm. I knew I wasn't a victim, but I didn't know what I was. Was I a creator? Was I a co-creator? I didn't know. So a couple of weeks later, when a man held a shotgun to my head and said, "You will do what I tell you to do," it was on the kitchen floor of a restaurant, and he raped me throughout the night. But I wasn't a victim. I showed up for the experience. That experience came through me. And so it was really unclear. What part did I play in this? And about, 3 or 4 weeks later, I had an experience of Christ consciousness. And it only lasted probably less than a minute. And there were no words spoken. There was this transmission that I got that I needed to forgive this man for what he had done. And I was guided to go into my bedroom and put on white cotton clothing, and I got in my car, and when I put the key in the ignition, the radio came on, and it was the Christ station. I don't listen to that station. I'm a Jewish girl from the Midwest, and I'm not like Christ is my savior or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right? And so this Christ music came on the radio, and I drove to the restaurant where he worked. I walked in, and he was sitting at a table, and I walked up to the table, and I sat down in the chair across from him. And I said, "I want you to know that I forgive you for what you did." And right at that moment, the whole kitchen started to look like hell, like flames. And I knew that was my signal, get up and go. And I just got up and left. I don't think there was a scar left from that experience. I mean, it was so completely healed through the power of forgiveness. And then about 13, 14 years later, I'm getting ready to move from LA to move to the Midwest, and there's a knock on my door. And I open the door, and the man who raped me is standing there. And he's got his arms outstretched, and holding on to either hand is a little girl. They were his daughters. And he just looked at me and he said, "Thank you."
Wow. That was a powerful, powerful story.
Yeah. And so while I wouldn't wish the experience of rape on anyone, I wouldn't trade the power of forgiveness for anything. I think you just told us who you are. I've been sitting for the last few days unable to formulate a question to ask you. It's like, I can't think of a question. And so the other night, just before going to sleep, I formulated a question. And the question was, I've heard it said that form is emptiness and emptiness is form. But I don't want to take that on hearsay. I want to know, I want to see it. And when I awoke in the morning, I caught a glimpse of it, like just a glimpse. I didn't even know, did I see it with my eyes or with my mind? How did I see it? But I just saw that this self-structure, that everything was empty underneath it, and everybody was just this emptiness. And it was like, how could you take anything seriously, what anybody said? I mean, how could, because it's just emptiness behind all that. And so I was just wondering if, I don't know, it closed down pretty fast.
Yeah, it's not far away.
Mm.
Do you know the Heart Sutra?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to walk around reciting it to myself many, many years ago. I would just say the Heart Sutra to myself over and over and over. But it could just be form is emptiness and emptiness is form. Just look at everything. Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. You're not trying to obviously impose it on your experience. Just let your experience open up and show you what it is. And it feels just like that. It's like, was that my eyes? Was that my mind? And it wasn't either. It was too real to be constructed or fabricated. And it's in every sense field. So you can work through the different sense fields this way. Just attention and fully in sound, and notice there is only sound. That's empty and full. It's that one sound is everything. All times and places, all iterations, all possibilities, and it's also nothing at all. Emptiness is form and form is emptiness. And you have the rest of your life to unpack and explore that through every contact point, every breath, every sense, every footstep on the ground. When your foot touches the carpet, you'll feel it there. Just keep opening to it.
Okay.
Invite it, just like you already did. It'll keep coming.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was very, very, very powerful on so many levels. I can't even comment on it because I don't want to do anything to it. But it's just tells me a hell of a lot about you and your instincts and your heart. That's that kind of compassion that goes beyond the human dimension. And thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, thank you.